What's up guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be comparing the GoPro Hero 10 to the Osmo Pocket 3 on a jog. And the reason I'm doing this is because my local run club, they needed some content, and I just wanted to see how the Osmo Pocket 3 would stand up against something like the GoPro. So I went on 2 different jogs and took this for one of them and then the Osmo Pocket 3 for the other. And I was just curious to see what the outcome is. Now, the day that I shot on the GoPro was definitely much sunnier than the Osmo Pocket 3, but the Osmo Pocket 3 has a bigger sensor. So let's see how the footage compares against the two. I know they're completely different product categories. That's why DJI makes the Osmo Action and the GoPro is the GoPro. But if you only have the Osmo Pocket 3, can you take it jogging? Can you take it along with you when you're doing some action sports? Let's find out. We're gonna see how good this does in terms of its stabilization compared to the Osmo Pocket 3. I have a feeling it's gonna do pretty well, if not better actually. As long as there's good light, the optical stabilization is actually very good. So we'll see. So, running is a new thing in my life, but it helps when you can do it with a group of people. And fortunately, I found this group called the Verb Running Club, and runs are anywhere between 5k and 8k, and today we're on an 8k run. Okay, so how does the GoPro compare to the Osmo Pocket 3 in terms of usability when you're doing action? Well, I think although the Osmo Pocket 3 fits in your hand well, it's like more of an ergonomic way of filming. The GoPro is definitely less cumbersome. You can hold it just as easy. And of course, when you're done, it fits in your pocket much easier as well. In terms of the footage, you'll only know by watching it, but it looks pretty stable on here. I know the audio is much better on the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm knackered. Anyway, let's get back to it. Cheers! Fist bump. Okay, so first of all, in terms of form factor, although the GoPro is slightly kind of harder to hold, it doesn't fit in the hand as well, it is actually smaller, so it's way more convenient and way less stress when doing something like going on a run, and size is a factor. I could just pop this in my pocket, no problem. And I'll be honest with you, in good light, the image quality, or at least the colors straight out of the camera, were much better with the GoPro. along with the stabilisation as well. The way that this thing handles the jogging is insane, and I did put it on boost in terms of the stabilisation mode, so it was at the maximum stabilisation mode. But I will say that the Osmo Pocket 3 was incredibly impressive considering I was literally running, and normally the camera doesn't do the up and down bobbing very well or handle that very well. So that was quite impressive as well. One thing I did notice about the Osmo Pocket 3 though is if I decided I wanted to film a certain section and I'd flip the screen, the fact that I was constantly moving as I was starting up the camera really threw off the gimbal. So I had a few like gimbal warning messages come up on the Osmo. I had to turn it off and then turn it back on again to kind of correct it. And I think that's just a result of the fact that I was literally bouncing around trying to start this thing up. As you can see from the footage, I did film in 120 with the Osmo Pocket 3 because I was kind of slightly concerned about how bad the bobbing would be. And obviously if you're going to slow everything down, it's going to look that much smoother. There's no doubt about it that the battery life is so much better on the Osmo Pocket 3 than it is with the GoPro, but the run was so short that it didn't really make a difference, so it wasn't really an issue in this case. I'm breaking all the lighting rules here, backlit, but this camera can handle it. Anyway, when it comes to audio, I did think that the Osmo Pocket 3's onboard microphones were going to be better than the GoPros, but surprisingly, the audio, whilst I was running down this one lane, it was really, really clear when I was speaking to camera. How does the GoPro compare to the Osmo Pocket 3? And I haven't really processed that in any way in Final Cut afterwards. This is just literally straight out of this camera. But it does tend to do this weird underwater muffling thing when you turn it around or whenever you're talking behind it and then talking in front of it. Side of the main center, you know, like you can live close enough that it's really like easy to get to the center. I don't really understand what that is. I always used to think it was because of the water when I would film this in the water, but apparently not. It makes this weird sound anyway. I think it's to do with the processing of the audio through the processor. As for the field of view, I had it on super view with the GoPro, and in hindsight, I wish I would have put it on horizon leveling because most of the time I was filming with the Osmo Pocket 3, I was on the pan tilt mode, which keeps the horizon level, and that would have been a more similar comparison, I think. And plus it would have also put the kind of focal range, focal length in a similar one to the Osmo Pocket 3 because you can't change that at all. So what is my conclusion? Well, if you only have an Osmo Pocket 3 and you want to take it out on a little adventure with you where you're going to be doing a bit of running, a bit of scrambling, a bit of jogging, you can totally do it with the Osmo Pocket 3 and it will perform great. However, I would take the GoPro in this instance, which is kind of a no-brainer anyway. You would take an action camera to do action sports, but sometimes you don't have the luxury of having both. So both are capable. This one's going to run out of battery quicker. The Osmo Pocket 3 will last longer. It's more versatile. It does have a better image quality, I think, in a bigger range of circumstances. The GoPro, you need a lot of light because it's got a much smaller sensor. That being said, both cameras did really well. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please don't hate on me in the comments because it's not an apples to apples comparison. As you can probably tell by my channel, I make all sorts of wacky comparisons between different types of gear just because I'm curious, and I think you might be too. If you like this video, please subscribe. Now you can see the shadow, and I'll see you guys in the next one.